Hi guys, welcome to PCF. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss a detail about the direct connection. Okay, so what points we are going to cover in this video means, okay, what is direct connection? Okay, so what is direct connection, and when we'll go for a direct connection? Okay, so what are the sources we can use it, we can connect, and the limitations of power query in the direct connection, and the limitations of DAX queries in a direct connection mode. And so when you use the direct query, so obviously it will have the performance problem. So how to overcome that performance problem, and what is the pro and cons about the direct query? Okay, these points we are going to discuss. Okay, let me connect. Okay, most of the people ask me in a class, okay, how to connect a SQL. Okay, we can connect a SQL with the direct connection. Okay, so now I'm going to connect with the SQL server. Okay, so this is the SQL server, and now my local server is dot. Okay, just I'm keeping the dot here in the server name and enter selecting the direct query. Okay, and then click OK, guys. Okay, click OK. So it will connect the direct query. Okay, and so you can check the database. Okay, you can select any database. Okay, you can so you can take a customer table and fact internet sales. Okay, you can specify the fact internet sales. Okay, you can search it here. Okay, fact internet sales. Okay, let me click this and then load the data, guys. Okay, so how you can identify whether it is a direct connection or whether it is an import connection? How you can identify after data load? Okay, so to identify the direct connection mode, first of all, direct connection will not have the data tab, guys. Okay, so actually here we will have the three tabs. Okay, one is visual tab and data tab and modeling tab, but there is no data tab. Try to understand, guys. Okay, so direct query will take only metadata. Okay, it will take only columns and metadata only. Okay, it will not take the exact data. It will not, there is no data tab. Okay, there is no data tab. See here. Okay, you can have only visual tab and modeling tab. Okay, that means it's a direct query. Okay, and also you can identify at the end right side below. Okay, right side below the report. Okay, you can identify the storage mode, case. Okay, storage mode is a direct query. Okay, storage mode is a direct query. This way you can identify. Okay, if the live connection, also sometimes live connection will also have the only two tabs, but still. Okay, so direct connection. So why we will go for a direct connection, guys? Okay, why we'll go for a direct connection? Why we'll go for direct connection means, so when we connect the pro license, okay, when we have the pro license, it can handle only 1 GB data limit. Okay, if you do the import, okay, it can handle only 1 GB data limit. And if it is a premium, okay, 10 GB data limit, right? If you have a import, okay, if you have an import, it's 10 GB to above. But so if you want to connect unlimited data, okay, there is no data limit. Okay, direct connection means there is no data limit. Why? Because data will be where? Data will be at source level. Okay, it will not take the data into Power BI memory. Okay, that is the reason we'll go for a direct connection. Direct connection will connect unlimited data. Why? Because the data will be at source. It will not importing the Power BI memory. Okay, try to understand it, guys. Okay, try to understand this point. Okay, data is not in a Power BI memory. Data will be where? Data will be at source only. Just we will make a connection and we can take the metadata, and then we will apply the operations and we'll create a model, and then after we'll create a report. But so only structure will be in a Power BI, but actual data will be in a source side. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, we'll go with the, so to unlimited, to connect unlimited data. Okay, to connect unlimited data, so we'll go for direct query. Okay, direct connection, direct query connection. Okay, so that is the reason. So hope you understand what is direct query. Direct query, okay, direct query will connect the sources. Okay, it unlimited data. Okay, so this connections, okay, so it will connect unlimited data. So by using databases only, here we can connect only databases case. Okay, what are the sources we can connect? Ante only databases what are available. Okay, so if you go here in get data, okay, if you go here in a get data, so there is a database section. If you click on more, there is a database section. Okay, so you can click on this. So whatever the databases are available, okay, all databases we can connect the direct connection. Okay, means direct connection. If you can, so only databases can connect only direct query. No, we can connect import also. But the thing is direct query. So when we have a huge amount of data, then we'll go for a direct connection. Okay, these are the sources we can connect direct query. Okay, these are the sources we can connect direct query. By default import, okay, import will connect all 99 sources. Okay, so if there is no import and direct connection, if you don't identify, that means it's an import, guys. Okay, if you connect a files or SharePoint folder, something like that, there is no, it will not specify like it is a import and direct. Okay, if you connect direct query, so you can connect only one data source, guys. Okay, you cannot connect more than one data source. Suppose if I try to connect it, okay, so I connected already one data source, right? If try to connect a Excel source, okay, it will not take. Okay, you can take anyone. Okay, let me take some sample data. Okay, if I like, otherwise I can take this one. Okay, any file. Okay, so it will not take, it will give a warning. Okay, it will give a warning, it will not allow multiple connections. Okay, you have to try to understand it, guys. Okay, so it will not take multiple connections. See the warning. Okay, do you want to build model this? Okay, so it will change the connection mode. Okay, so it will go to direct connection to live or something like that. So when you add the second sources, the information data source might be included in a query that are sent to other data sources. Only another data source if you want trust owner admin with the data. Okay, admin you have to ask, and then the data should be loaded into the same database, and then only you can take the data. Otherwise you cannot connect to the multiple sources. Okay, this is the another point. Okay, another point. Okay, so we can connect all databases whatever in the things. Okay, the limitations case. Okay, power query limitations. Okay, so it's depends case. Okay, so some SAP connection will have some okay, some limitations. Okay, SAP connection will have some limitations, and SQL will have some limitations, and this is depends on the sources. Okay, what are the sources you have? Some sources you cannot apply some steps in here. Okay, you cannot do some transformations here. Okay, by it's depend on the source. Okay, I cannot specify, okay, this step, okay, this step we cannot do in the these things. Okay, and also the advantage is that, okay, you have to, so if you go here in the applied steps, there is a view native query. Okay, so it will give the, so this means the native query. So if it is enabled means, okay, if you can see, otherwise you cannot see. It's if it is in disable mode, you cannot see. Okay, if it is enabled, so this is called query folding guys. Okay, when the native query is enabled, so the whatever the steps you applied, it will not be executed here. Okay, it will not be executed in Power BI side, it will be executed in where? Source side. That means, okay, it will improve the performance of the report case. Okay, so this is the negative query. So negative query will improve the performance. Okay, you have to go to the last step, and then you can see the view negative query. So it will give the SQL code, total SQL code. This will improve the performance. Okay, whether negative query is on or not, you have to check. Okay, that is the one point guys. Okay, in the Power Query, I cannot say this step we cannot apply. Why? Because it's a very different sources. Okay, it's a very different sources. But the limitations are there with the Power Query. You cannot apply all steps. And also the DAX limitations, guys. Okay, DAX you cannot apply. You cannot write DAX queries on, so DAX functions in Power BI. So if you go here, so there is they have specified in aggregation functions. Okay, if you go to the aggregation, okay, so there is a remarks column you can see. Okay, in remarks column they will specify directly. So this function is not supported by the direct query. Okay, all aggregation functions, if you go any aggregation function, you will see that. Okay, you will see that guys. Okay, see, okay, all aggregation functions will show that. Okay, aggregation function will not support direct query. Then how we can do aggregations? Okay, if it is not support, how we can do the aggregation means, you can do at source level. Database, right? Database, you can do the aggregations. Okay, that you can do it ever in your aggregation. And date functions, calendar and calendar auto will not support. Okay, in date functions, calendar and calendar auto will not support. See, okay, it's not support. Okay, calendar and calendar auto also will not support. See that. Okay, calendar and calendar auto, and filter functions. Okay, even filter functions also so it will not allow the filter functions also. Okay, so right guys, just a minute. See, filter function. Okay, all function also is not allowing. Okay, some of the function. Okay, you have to go this. Okay, and check whether which functions is supporting and which functions are not supporting. You can go. Okay, so that you can see in the direct query case. Okay, that we can see in the direct query. So that is the limitations in a DAX. And so, and also the thing is, so cancel it case. Okay, it's taking the perform. Okay, so if you create any visual case, okay, suppose if I are creating any visual, so the data, where we have the data, so we have the data at source level. So every time it hits the database. Okay, every query. Okay, so how many visuals you create, how many visuals you will create. Okay, so that many things. Okay, so it will hit the database. Okay, every query, every visual, it will hit the database. Okay, it will hit the database and it will bring the. So if you create one more visual, okay, so if you create one more visual, suppose customer education as a filter, okay, suppose slicer. So this also will go to the, okay, this also it will go to the database and it will hit the data. Okay, each and every query, it will hit the database and it will bring the data. Okay, so each and every visual, it will go and it will hit the data. Okay, to reduce that performance case. Okay, so if you this one, okay, so if you want to high school, okay, so high school sales amount and degree graduation graduate degree sales amount, if you want to see, so you can filter the data, but each filter it will go to the so every time, okay, if you apply filter, it will go to the database and it will bring the data, and high school, it will go to the database and it will bring the data. Suppose if you want to select multiple, okay, so you can apply multiple filters and then you can apply click. Okay, at a time, one time only you can go. That is means query reduction. Query reduction means don't go every time. Okay, don't go to the source every time. So just apply whatever the steps you apply and then go one time and then bring the data. Okay, you have to hit only one time instead of hitting multiple times. Hit only one time and bring the data whatever you want. Okay, so you can reduce the hits on database case. Okay, you can reduce the hit on database by using query reduction. Okay, so how to implement the query reduction? Okay, so but the performance increment guys. Okay, so this is the performance increment, that is query reduction. Okay, query reduction. Okay, query reduction. Okay, so something query reduction is there. So how to implement the query reduction? Okay, so if I go here, okay, so if you select something and then click apply button, then only it will go one go and then it will bring the data. Okay, to implement that, you can go to the files and options and settings options. Okay, so you can go there. Okay, you can go there and then you can, okay, in the current file section, okay, in the current file section, there is a query reduction guys. Okay, query reduction is there. So you can select that query reduction options. Okay, add apply button on each slicer to apply changes when you are ready. Okay, so you can select that and then you can click apply. Okay, click OK. So there is a apply button. Earlier you don't see this apply button guys. Okay, now you have seen the apply button, right? So the apply button, and then okay, so you can select. Okay, it will not go when you select, it will not go. When you click on apply only, then it will go to the database sheet guys. Okay, try to understand. Okay, so when you select whatever the selections you select and then click apply, then only it will go to the database and it will hit the database. Otherwise it will not go. So otherwise it will not go to the database, it will not hit the database. Okay, hope you understand the query reduction. And the last topic we'll discuss, so what is the pro and cons? Okay, so what is the advantage of direct query? So advantage of direct query is, so you can connect large data sources guys. Okay, large data sources, you can connect large data sources Okay, there is no size limit. Okay, there is no size limitations. You can connect unlimited data source, and you don't require data refresh case. Okay, no need to. Okay, no need for data refresh. Okay, it will automatically refresh the data. Okay, no need to data refresh. Okay, unlimited times. Any, so if you use a pro license, so per day we can do only 8 refreshes. If you use a premium license, per day you can do only 48 refreshes. But there is no condition when you use a direct. Okay, you can do unlimited times. Okay, that is the one thing. Okay, the disadvantages. Okay, so cons. Okay, cons. Okay, disadvantages. Okay, what are the disadvantages we have? Disadvantages we have is single data source only. Okay, you can connect only single data source. Okay, that is the disadvantage. Okay, and the second disadvantage is, just a minute. Second disadvantage is power query transformation limitations. Okay, power query limitations, power query transformation limitations. Okay, you cannot apply steps. Okay, you cannot do all transformations in a power query. And DAX limitations, guys. Okay, DAX limitations. So you cannot use all DAX functions. Okay, this is also disadvantage. DAX is limited. Okay, you cannot use all DAX. Okay, DAX is limited. And low speed. Okay, so the speed, okay, it has to hit the database and it has to bring the data, right? So always you will have the performance issue, guys. Okay, so lower speed of the report. Okay, so it has to hit the data is not in a Power BI memory, right? So whenever you create a visual, so the backend query, it will go to the database and it will hit the data and then it will bring the data. Okay, so slow speed of the report, guys. Okay, slow speed of the report, lower speed of the report. Okay, these are the disadvantages. Okay, this is all about the direct query, guys. Okay, if you have any concern, okay, if you want to know something about the direct query, so you can maintain in the comment section. So whenever I get a time, I will create a video, guys. Okay, hope you understand that. So thank you, guys. Okay, so if you like the video, so please share and subscribe for more videos like SQL, MSBI. So for more videos, you can subscribe my channel. So definitely you will get videos, guys. Okay, thank you so much.